If you wake up on your 30th birthday and you do not own 5 specific assets, you are not just a little behind. You are mathematically on track to work until the day you die, not because you are lazy, because compounding has a clock, and the clock does not care about your intentions. Your 20s are for making mistakes. Your 30s are for fixing them. And the problem is, most people hit 30 with a life that looks fine on the outside, but financially they are standing on a trap door. Student debt, a car loan, rent or a mortgage they can barely hold, and zero assets producing money. That is the standard American path, and it quietly leads to one destination: working until 65 or longer because you have no choice. So let me make this simple. You do not need to be a millionaire by 30. You just need to own 5 seeds that will grow into a forest by 40. Now we need to define one word correctly: asset. Most people use the word asset to mean thing I bought. That is wrong. A nice car is not an asset. It is a bill that depreciates. A diploma is not an asset. It is a receipt. Even a house is only an asset if it improves your financial position, not just your ego. Here is the only definition that matters. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket while you sleep. Everything else is either a liability or a consumable dressed up as status. And if that annoys you, good. Because it means normal culture has trained you to call liabilities adulting. Now let's talk about why 30 is the deadline. Wealth has gravity. At the beginning of adult life, gravity pulls you down every month. Rent, bills, insurance, groceries, emergencies, and all the little life taxes nobody warned you about. If you do not build assets, gravity wins. You stay on the ground forever, trading hours for dollars. To escape, you need boosters. Assets are boosters. They push you into a different orbit, where your money starts helping you instead of just leaving you. And the reason you need these boosters before 30 is simple. Time is the fuel. Early dollars are stronger than later dollars. People argue about the exact return number. Fine, but the direction never changes. A dollar invested early has decades to multiply. A dollar invested late has far less time. When you delay building assets, you are not just starting later. You are choosing to do the same goal on a harder difficulty setting. That is why this is a checklist. Not motivation, not vibes, a checklist. Asset number 1, the fortress, 6 months of liquid cash. Let's start with the asset people love to disrespect. Cash. You have heard cash is trash. And yes, cash does not grow much, but here is the truth. Cash is option. If you have zero in the bank, your boss owns you. You cannot quit. You cannot take risks. You cannot negotiate. You cannot breathe. So the first asset you need by 30 is the fortress. Roughly 6 months of essential expenses in liquid, boring, accessible cash. Not invested in something you cannot touch. Not locked behind penalties. Not tied up in a car. Not trapped in a checking account earning basically nothing. Liquid. This is not savings for fun. This is your freedom fund. It is the difference between saying, I have to tolerate this, and saying, I can walk. Quick reality check. If you lost your income tomorrow, how many months could you survive without panic? If the answer is under 1 month, you do not have a money problem, you have a fragility problem, and the fortress fixes fragility. Now once you have the fortress, you can build what I call sleep money. Asset number 2, the sleep money engine, broad market ownership. If you want to build wealth as a normal person, you need ownership, not just working, ownership. The simplest form of ownership for most people is a diversified portfolio of businesses, which is what a broad stock market index fund represents. You do not need to pick individual stocks. You do not need to predict the next big thing. You need to own the machine. That is the idea behind something like an S&P 500 index fund, or a low-cost fund that tracks broad markets depending on your options and preferences. You are buying the means of production. You are saying, I want a tiny piece of the companies that everyone buys from. Now, what is a good target by 30? A common benchmark is at least 1 times your annual salary invested by age 30. If you make $60,000 a year, a rough target might be $60,000 invested by 30. Is that always possible? Oh, life happens. Student loans, low early income, kids, medical stuff. But benchmarks matter because they show you what normal progress looks like. If you are 30 with zero invested, you are not just behind, you are not even playing, because without the engine, your wealth has no momentum. and the engine is what turns income into a growing asset base. Now we make this engine even more powerful by putting it inside a tax shield. Asset number 3, the tax shield, a Roth IRA. If you want the closest thing to a free lunch in personal finance, it is tax-free growth. That is what a Roth IRA is designed to give you. You contribute after-tax dollars, and if you follow the rules, the growth and withdrawals in retirement can be tax-free, meaning the government does not get to partner with you forever. Now here is the urgency most people miss. There is a yearly contribution limit. It changes over time, but think in the ballpark of around $7,000 per year for many people, depending on the year and eligibility. And here is the painful part. If you miss a year in your 20s, you cannot go back in time and buy that space later. It is gone forever, so even if you cannot max it out. The goal by 30 is to have this account open, active, and funded, because the Roth is not just an account, it is a shield, and the earlier you plant money inside a tax-free environment, the more powerful it becomes over decades. Now we move to an asset that is not money, but it controls the price of money in your life. Asset number 4, the access key, a 750-plus credit score. A credit score is not wealth, but it buys wealth. It is a key that opens cheaper money, and cheaper money changes your entire life. A strong score can help you qualify for better interest rates on mortgages, better loan terms, easier apartment approvals, and in many places even better insurance pricing. Over a lifetime, the difference between strong credit and weak credit can be tens of thousands, sometimes more, depending on the mortgage size and rate environment. Two people can buy the same house, and the person with better credit can pay dramatically less interest. So the goal is not to worship credit. The goal is to use the system the way it exists. Build a paper trail that says you borrow responsibly and pay on time. That usually means 1 or 2 credit cards, low utilization, on-time payments, no missed bills, and no chaos. And here is the discipline caveat. If you cannot control spending, credit cards can wreck you. In that case, do not use them like toys, but if you are disciplined, credit is leverage. Now the last asset is the one everything depends on, because you cannot invest your way out of low income. Asset number 5, the high income skill, your human capital. Here is the hard truth. If you make $30,000 a year, you can budget perfectly and still struggle. You cannot compound what you do not have. So the 5th asset you must own by 30 is a high income skill. Not a degree by itself, a skill that is valuable, scalable, and ideally not directly tied to hours worked. Examples could include sales, software development, project management, data analysis, copywriting, design with measurable outcomes, high-level operations, leadership, specialized trades. Anything that moves revenue, reduces costs, or solves expensive problems. Your degree might get you a job. Your skill gets you a career. And if you are 30 and still trading hours for dollars at a generic rate, you are the liability. That is not an insult. It is a diagnosis, because the market does not pay you for effort. It pays you for scarcity and results. So by 30, the goal is to have one skill you can point to and say, "This makes me money anywhere." Now let's bring the checklist to life with a simple comparison. 2 people, both 30, standard Sam followed the standard path. Sam has a $40,000 car, a nice apartment, and basically zero invested. No fortress, no engine, no shield. Credit is average. Skill growth is flat because Sam is exhausted from maintaining the lifestyle. Sam looks successful. Sam is fragile. Asset Alex is also 30. Alex drives a beater, not because Alex hates nice things, because Alex understands leverage. Alex has a $50,000 portfolio. Alex has cash reserves. Alex has a side hustle, or at least a skill that is increasing income. Now fast forward to 45. A recession hits. They both lose their job. Sam panics. No cash cushion, no meaningful investment. Bills keep coming. Within a few months, Sam is forced to sell stuff, take bad debt, or accept any job at any pay. Sam's lifestyle collapses because it was built on a paycheck, not on assets. Alex loses the same job, and it still sucks, but Alex has the fortress. So life does not instantly become an emergency. Alex has the engine, so investments keep compounding over time. Alex has a skill, so income can restart faster. Alex is not immune to problems. Alex is resilient, That is what assets buy you. Assets do not make you rich overnight. They make you harder to kill over time. Now let's recap the 5 assets one more time. 1. Build the fortress. 6 months of liquid cash. 2. Buy the engine. Diversified market ownership for long-term compounding. 3. Shield the money. Use a Roth IRA for tax-free growth if you qualify. 4. Unlock the system. Build strong credit as an access key. 5. Upgrade yourself. A high-income skill that increases earning power. Age 30 is a deadline not because life ends, but because math gets harder. Plant the trees now. Now check your asset score. Out of these 5, how many do you already have? Comment your score below. 0 to 5. If you are not at 5 yet, good. Now you have a map.